fixed now. I'm gonna skip out of that very weird intro. Resume where we left off.
Previously during the investigation. These puppies are making me go to another town in the boondocks again.
I didn't think you'd keep me waiting in the rain for so long.
Welcome to Greenland. I'm the sheriff, George Woodman. Call me George.
There's definitely something in this town. Do you feel it, Zach? My coffee warned me about it.
So yeah, this is gonna be interesting to say the least. Alright. Last time kinda got a little lost as to what to do. Because my car ran completely out of I don't know why this is yellow and this one is white. Use. Why not? I mean, I have two of them. Oh, what? This isn't the car I was promised, but... Hey. I'll use it. Oh. Music is all weird now. That's cool. Alright. If I follow this road... At what point does it get to the, yeah, don't go that way. Maybe if I follow it this way? Use this gallery. That's not where I want to go. Oops. Main target area, that's where I am. Having a gas station, that's kind of where I was earlier. I just sat on the volume control. Nope, nope. No, that's not where I want to go. Ah, I think that's where I want to go. Yeah. So to get there... Where am I in relation to that? This music just kind of like picks up. Am I over here somewhere? It looks like there's down. Oh wait. All right, so I know I'm not that far from here. I'm on this road, I think. What's this? I'm not that far from the junkyard. Yeah, there I am. So if I take a right along this road. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna take a right, followed by not an immediate left, but a left after the electrical substation, just before the river. That should work. my god, I don't know how to drive. Actually, it's such a weird control. You're using the right bumper to...
Now, Joel Gray's daughter is, of course... That's right, Jennifer Grey. You knew that, right, Zach?
No.
Jennifer Grey. She's in one of my most favorite movies. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. 1986, directed by John Hughes. That one was so 80s. Zach, you're not the most cheerful guy I know. But you really do like those cheerful movies. We used to love those teenage movies back then, didn't we? Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink, St. Elmo's Fire, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That last one was in 1982, directed by Amy Heckerling. Now that was an impressive film. You've got Sean Penn in the lead, with Jennifer Jason Leigh and Phoebe Cates, not to mention Nicolas Cage and Forrest Whitaker were in it too.
Nicolas Cage.
And the original book and
Really?
the script were written by Cameron Crowe. How could that not be a great film?
Because it has
Remember
Nicolas
that?
Cage.
When that movie ended, the last words, the end, was from an arcade game. That's right, it was from Missile Command. That stuck in my head for a while. The memories. I feel like I have a lot of movies to catch up on. Let's just hope we can get to the end of this case soon. Then maybe we can catch up on a few. Give some thought about what movie you want to see next, Zach.
Okay. Haven't watched any of those movies. I'm gonna be really honest with you, which is really weird, considering I'm 32 and a lot of those came out in the 80s. So you'd think that a lot of people would be pushing you to watch some of them. I knew people were raving about a few of them. Oops. Slight ding to the front of the car, but that should be okay. Oop. I know I'm not driving okay. But... Is that something? Is that something I should have been keeping an eye out for? No? Okay, good. Because I'm not slowing down, not stopping. Not until I get to that hotel. Okay, I obviously missed my turn here. Unless it's that one up there. Greenfield General Hospital? No, that's not where I want to be. I did miss it. Okay. I think it was the turn that I was like, is that something? It's kind of like in the way. What was that for? What did I just get paid for? What'd I do? This doesn't look like... No. That's not it. I did pass it though. That's what I thought, it's right there. I mean, I didn't think that till like just now when I was like, that looks like something. Something other than nothing. Ow. I hope this is the right place. Oh yeah, this is definitely the right place. Don't mind me, it's just showing up at like 10 in the afternoon. I think I'm gonna take the horror car from now on. Alright. I should go to bed soon. Alright. But before I do, he was complaining about not eating and drinking. Then we're gonna keep wearing the same thing. Where is my toolbox? Here. Take item out. Says smoked salmon. We'll take it just because. Says coffee with milk. Yes. Turkey sandwich with some coffee. Now we're gonna go to bed. Actually, we're gonna save, then go to bed. Sleep 3 hours. Okay, so it's 2200, so it's about 10 o'clock at night. Long sleep, 12 hours. A moderate sleep should be fine. That should wake him up at about 4 in the morning. Wait, what time do I need to be up? 1500? Yeah. I think I could do a 6 hours sleep, and if I need more, I can do more. Yeah. Sounds like rain. Let's get some breakfast. Which is done in here, I believe. Coffee with milk. What time is her kitchen open? Unless you're not aware of time passing. I guess I need soon, Zach. Well, I was hoping that the kitchen would be open after that. Alright. So what? No breakfast? Ooh, something over here. Rain from morning till evening. This rain might hinder our progress.
It's a shame.
What can I do for you, Mr. Morgan? got an egg.
Oh, hi.
Hi, yes, Mr. Morgan? If you need anything, you can find me at the front desk. I sell daily goods to guests. I don't have much, but they may help you out. So you're a sales girl too, aren't you? That's right. Coffee comes as a set with breakfast. Don't worry, this service here is just as good as any fancy city hotel. Great, thank you. Oh, alright then. Do you need something? Very well, just a moment. We're gonna buy some breakfast, I think. Cheddar cheese. Ooh, I can buy a rod for fishing. That's pretty expensive, though. Wait. Yeah, that's pretty expensive. But I might need it if I'm gonna go fishing. Yes. You acquired a rod for fishing. Yes. Good. Thank you, take it easy. Oh no. Oh no. I'm stuck. Move. Wait. Hearing is quite weak, but otherwise she's fit enough to run the hotel by herself.
Oh, hi.
It's raining outside. Make sure you don't catch a cold. Can I think I'm gonna have to actually load a previous save, which kind of sucks. Options, title. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the title. Because I'm stuck. I'm stuck behind her if I don't. Oh my god, Rose! Sorry, I just like my screen went dark on my laptop and I just tapped it. He's gonna read his chat. Alright, what he is. The game gives me nostalgic feels like I know it's new. Yeah, now I noticed. Like I know it's new, but it takes me back to the old PS2 days. And wait, listen because it's rude. Sorry. My screen on my laptop
during the
went...
investigation.
Shh. Morgan, quiet. I'm not stuck anymore. Spawning Gigas and Pegos and Diplos. Hey, at least none of those would be those annoying as hell pelicans or whatever they are. The thief birds. I think 6 Pegos is a good punishment for that. Alright. You got egg. Oh? You want those instead? I'll spawn. And lots of seagulls. Ugh.
Oh, hi.
Alright. Whoa, the bait is almost as much as the fishing rod. Look at that. Oops. I think I only have one of those. Cigarette heavy. Never tempt the godman, I have power. It's true. Fresh eggs will satisfy your hunger a small amount. Alright, there we go. And we'll just have some smoked salmon as well. Alright. I thought we were gonna have breakfast here again, but apparently not. She's with the fishing rod to go fishing! We'll do that at some point. What? I really hope you guys enjoyed the server. If you have any questions or issues, please just let me know. Of course we will. Well, I mean, let you know. I don't know if we'll have issues or not, or questions. We'll find out. Ooh, can I take any of these? Two sheriff's cars. Then we got this little van over here. Is there anything in the back that I could take? Ooh, I see some glowies. Peek. I can see inside. An unbelievably delicious turkey sandwich will satisfy a large amount of your hunger. We've had people who didn't like little things and just left. It's frustrating as all heck. Yeah, I can imagine. Ooh, we can get a country ham. Don't mind me. Makes it hard to become sleepy for a short while and recovers a little tiredness. This is the same room as before. Potatoes. I don't want any potatoes. Ark gives enough potatoes. Look, I'm getting paid just for peeking into windows. I wish I got paid for peeking into windows. I had nothing in them. You don't want to peek into some windows though, because you might see something you didn't want to see. When's launch? Patrol car will come soon. It's for an emergency. No, it's for when my car runs out of gas. I don't want to hoof it anywhere. Thomas's biscuit. A biscuit baked by Thomas recovers life, hunger, tiredness. They're gonna make me hungry by showing me all the food. Okay, one thing I hate about video games is sometimes the description of the food is better than the actual food. I feel like I'll fit in fine here. So we're very unlikely to up and leave. This is a bedroom, and the only other person here besides me is is Polly. Oh, thank you. Hold on a second. We can go fishing down here. Yeah, I have to be there by 1500. Oh, have I not gone to sleep in this save? There's no bait. It's on the hook. You have to add some bait to fish. That was ominous. I don't think I have any bait, so yeah, I can't go fishing. Oh well. Just have to wait till a little bit later, I guess. Actually, I think I should have him head to bed. So he has to be up by 3. So I think even if you were to take a long sleep right now, you would probably still be up in time. Not up in time for breakfast, though. You hear that too, like when I'm running, sometimes you hear another set of footsteps like over there somewhere. Just heard like a little rat running around. Alright, we're gonna go back inside. Post your stream on the Discord. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. See metal. Yeah, I used to have a different Twitch name. It was the Nightly Gamer, and what happened was I just got to like 140 or 150 followers, and then Discord decided, or not Discord, Twitch decided, hey, we don't want you to have that many followers anymore, so we're just gonna lock you out of your account. Because it's like, it was asking me to use Authy to verify who I am, and wait, what? What was your old one? Name sounds super familiar. It was this. I'll type it. Mm-hmm. Possibly. Like I said, I had like 140, 150 followers, and then Twitch was like, oh yeah, you need to verify who you are through Authy. And I didn't have Authy connected to my account, so that didn't make any sense to me. And I can't verify who I am anymore. That name sounds familiar, actually. We're going with deep sleep. Yeah. Hello again. Various expensive sounding dishes are listed on the menu, though none of them really appeal to me. I'll opt for junk food and coffee anytime, right, Zach? He's so picky sometimes. You got coffee with milk. And is he really going to opt for junk food? The rain should stop in the afternoon, but it'll still be cloudy. Oh, so the weather's a bit random. It's interesting.
Oh, hi.
Alright. He wants to get junk food, apparently. That looks like a roll of duct tape and the little icon right there. But yeah, so that's what's been going on with that. Small amount. A little bit. Small amount. And they did have some vending machines. Let's go see what's in their vending machines. If I can find them. I wouldn't be surprised if I couldn't find them anymore. No. A $24 lollipop or a $35 cracker. Yeah, I don't want any of that. Coffee with milk for $13, or coffee that's black for $31. Jeez. That's some expensive coffee. But I think I have some junk food in my suitcase. I gotta question someone who carries junk food in their toolbox. We're gonna take items out. Okay. There we go. It's a very weird breakfast, but hey. And thank you for the host. And I really appreciate that, especially on a very... I would actually call this a fresh account, considering I can't get to my old one. I'll be upset about that for a while, but... At least it happened with only 100 and... Legend worm? What? That just sounds gross. At least it only happened with 150 followers instead of like 150,000 followers like some people seem to have. I don't have many followers, but I remember watching your stuff before and you were cool. Aw, thanks. I just had Doritos and Mountain Dew for breakfast. At least that makes more sense than like crackers and a sugar donut and I don't even remember what else. An egg? Like a hard-boiled egg, I imagine? I am judging you. I'm judging me? I'm not. I don't have any room to judge anyone when it comes to breakfast foods. Had an energy drink for breakfast. I'm the kind of person who's like, I'm gonna eat healthy all day on day one, and then on day
Okay,
two.
sir. I've been thinking about what movie I'd like to watch next. And finally, I've made a decision.
It's always hard to narrow it down just to one movie, but I've put a lot of thought into this, and I'm sure you'll agree with me. 1975. Directed by Steven Spielberg himself. grandfather of panic movies. Set in a small town in Massachusetts.
My
That
birthday.
movie made me stay away from the beach for years. I was always afraid that a hand might come floating up. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah? It's Jaws. The underwater camera work accompanied by that John Williams music. I'd never been that scared by a movie before. But the best thing about it is that it isn't just another panic movie. The mayor who won't close the beach even when there are so many victims. Chief Brody putting the citizens' lives above all else. The film gave a lot of time to the dispute and friction between them. It certainly had a lot of messages for a 2-hour film. That's probably another reason why it was such a record-breaking hit. One of my regrets in life is that I didn't see it at the movie theater. I guess I was still just a child back then. But still, I wanted to taste that terror in real time.
That reminds me, Zach. Did you know this one?
Jaws also appears in another movie that was produced by Spielberg.
Yeah, the auto
Second
is
Back
down
to
on
the
old
Future.
account.
It was directed by Robert Zemeckis, who later made Forrest Gump. That's also a masterpiece, of course, but we'll discuss that another time. So, the scene where Jaws appears is right after Marty McFly goes 30 years into the future. He passes by a movie theater and is attacked by a holographic shark. Marty is shocked, of course, but looking closer, he sees the words, Jaws Part 19. The director is credited as Steven Spielberg Jr. In reality, there were actually only 4 Jaws movies, but it was still a great joke. 30 years from 1985 would be 2015. We'll be there pretty soon.
I wonder what life would be like by then, Zach.
I find it funny that they're saying, "Oh, we'll be there soon," about 2015, when this game was released in 2017. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I do have the auto host on. I put on auto host and I added, I think it was like a lot of channels to the auto host. People that I gamed with, people in communities that I was in, such as when I first started in SKRP, I added anyone who was streaming SKRP to my auto host, so it would always be hosting someone in the role-playing community that I was a part of. Oh, I did. Trust me, I did that. And the response I got back was more or less that they have only 5 people doing their support for like 10 minutes. They have like 5 people handling all of their customer service support, and only 2 or 3 of them actually handle the type of issue I'm having. So it'll take them about 3 weeks to get to me. Yeah, 5 people. With how big Twitch is. Well, okay, Twitch has a large customer base, if you look at how many people use Twitch, but the company itself is actually rather small. They don't have a lot of people. I think they'd get on that. Hire some more people for customer service. Because in the industry they're in, 48 hours is average. 3 weeks. It's gonna be rough.
Zach, Emily arranged for people to come between 1500 and 1700.
We can't do anything here right now. Let's come back at the right time.
Are you really gonna kick me out? How would I apply to work here? No. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is maybe go fishing? Would just instantly give your account back. Lol. Wait. Do I need band? No, I don't need bandages, but I could use this. To make time go by. Alright. It's gonna be 3 in a little bit, and that's when I'm gonna stop. Alright, so it should be around 3 now. Greenfield Community Center. Mercury Theater.
Greenvale Community Center. Now that's an impressive building. Clock Tower is impressive too.
High quality beef. Okay, brown bullhead catfish.
Zach, I haven't been on stage like this since elementary school. I'm not some tree in the wind this time either. That was a tough role. I was a piece of scenery. Bright red tree.
Thank you all for coming today. Getting right down to business. Agent Morgan from the Federal Bureau of Investigations wishes to speak with you.
Good afternoon. I'm Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Some of you are already aware by now of the tragic murder of Anna Graham. Truly a heinous, terrible crime. I've come to this town to solve the murder of this young, beautiful girl, and to bring the one responsible to justice. Unfortunately, incidents like these have a tendency to happen again. I asked to have you gathered here so I can share some advice in order to minimize the risk of further fatal incidents. Firstly, please, stay away from any dark, dangerous, isolated places. Those of you with children, especially of Anna's age, please guide your children away from such places at all costs. Secondly, avoid going out when it is raining. Now, I've heard the folklore story of the raincoat killer. There is a chance that the murderer is mimicking the story. Women should also be especially careful. I would hate to see more victims.
Oh look, it's Miss Stiletto Heels.
Who's the fashionably late one?
That's Carol, Thomas's sister. She owns a bar.
Thomas's sister.
Excuse me.
And she's a broken heel.
So, as I have said, avoid going outside when it is raining. Young women should be especially careful. Report anything or anyone suspicious immediately. The murderer will be caught and brought to justice. But you must all remain on guard until we do so. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Oh, it's this freak again.
When paying for our sins, we must not frown. The loss of Anna was for that debt.
Yeah, this guy.
When purple fog covers our town, we'll all wander in hell, I fret. So says Mr. Stewart.
Sure knows how to steal thunder.
Well then, Zach, let's ask some questions before all these guys leave.
Quite a performance.
Likely.
Mysterious and very poetic. But I don't think many of your audience appreciated it.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, the purple fog appears with rain, soiling and ruining our town. The evil does not drain. Find out why the town is soiled. Remove the source from which it boiled. Then and only then your case is solved. But for this to happen, to solve the crime, the proper must do the proper at the proper time. It is not yet mine, that is, Mr. Stewart's time, not mine. But if you, Mr. York, find the right timing to chat with me, that is, with Mr. Stewart, may that be. Informative and fruitful, you will see. So says Mr. Stewart.
So, Harry, you know something. But there's some reason why you can't tell me yet. Is that what you're trying to say?
Cut the poetic rubbish, Harry, and tell us what you know. We can force you to talk, you know.
Look, now he's rhyming. That Thomas guy is really twitchy.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, pay close attention to the signs, the omens, and the premonitions. Small they may be, they still are finds, and helpful to your investigations. So says Mr. Stewart.
Thanks for the warning, Harry. But don't worry. Me and Zach, we know what we're doing.
Uh-oh. Not responding. Crap. I think it just crashed. That looks like a crash to me. And it crashed on a derp face too. Alright. I think that's definitely a crash. Yep, close the program. Alright, so what to do next? I think I should just try to reload it, see if I can't get any further. Or if it'll crash again at that same spot. Apparently it's a game prone to crashing, by the way. I'm looking at the achievements right now, and there's a few spoilers in here, I think. Alright. What I'm going to do is I'm going to relaunch the program, and something is updating. Oh, Arc is updating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to relaunch, and I'm going to step out for just a moment. Yes, run the game. But I'm going to run it in the windowed mode like I was doing before, because that apparently stops it from locking up the whole computer. Let's give it a moment. Haven't even been live an hour and it's crashed like, what, 3 times? Gonna pause it, update. It's taking a while. It still says installing DirectX. Performing first time setup. Even though this is the 12th time I've run the program. Yep. There we go. And it is not showing, so give me a moment. Now is it showing? It's a very touchy program. Nope. Okay. So I guess we're just done with Deadly Premonition for now. When you're playing this, I'm trying to suck less at driving in GTA. That's a difficult thing to do. I mean, you know, GTA is good and all, but the controls for driving are kind of, yeah, they can sometimes not be helpful. See if I can troubleshoot the compatibility with the program. Horrendous? Yeah. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. Get to enjoy the intro.
Oh. Oh. Yep. Yeah.
It's dangerous to run around here, boys.
Grandpa, hurry! Hurry Grandpa, up! You're too slow! Oh. Oh. Yep. Yeah.
It's dangerous to run around here, boys.
Grandpa, hurry! Hurry up! Grandpa, you're too slow!
Yeah.
Alright, I'm back. Not sure how many times I played, but whoops. Nope, creepy children, nope. Plus they're twins, like, thanks. My twin granddaughters, they're devil spawns. Tell them this on a regular basis. I tell them mom on a regular basis, and they all think it's hilarious. Kitten and I actually met a pair of twins through roleplay, and we didn't know they were twins at first because we only met one of them. And
Previously during the investigation.
shush. And oh god, I'm all the way back here. Oh, this is my room. I'm just saying that because I saw the poster. Yeah, as I was saying though, I don't know what I was saying. I don't have a 10. I don't have a shotgun. We only met one of them, and it was like a. It was over a video type roleplay, so one of them would appear on screen and he would be talking. Let's see, do I? anything I want to put away? Oh, I could put something away. Okay. Okay. But I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is I'm go to sleep for a while. Anyway, so it's 2200, so if I go to sleep now, it'll be like 10 a.m. That's okay. Yeah, he's ravenous now. Because we eat soon. Let's see if I can't get something to eat from the cafeteria. We only met one of them, and he's very, very animated, very eccentric, very vocal, very entertaining. And it was during meeting him that we were like, oh yeah, we really want to roleplay with this guy again. And everyone was referring to him as I believe they were referring to that one as Austin. Oh yeah, here's where we have breakfast. I totally derped on that. And it was during our time with them that it became apparent very quickly that there were two of them. Because the next time we went to interact with this individual, people were calling him by a different name, and we're like, wait a minute, I thought his name was Austin, now you're calling him Trent. And the one that we were talking to started having a conversation with someone off screen, and it sounded more like he was talking to himself. And next thing we know, his twin walks in front of the camera, so we're seeing both of them in the same frame, and we're like, oh no, there's two of them. And at first, they're very hard to tell apart, but then as you get to know them, you get to pick up on differences in their voice and mannerisms. So I imagine it's like that with all twins.
Oh, hi.
We want to buy... Oh yeah, when Austin waved, he legit died. You acquired a fishing rod. Or you acquired rod. It doesn't even specify that it's for fishing. I really want the bait though. Oh my god, I just like to screw with people. Yeah, I imagine so. Like, if I had a twin, I'd be screwing with a lot of people. Like, ooh. There we go. It's fun to watch people who don't know them. I imagine.
Oh, hi.
Just a moment. Alright, let's get, You're selling bullets for a 10mm. I mean, I'll buy them. Because, I mean, she only has the one, so yeah. You can't carry any more of that. Okay. Can't carry any more of this? Bait. Normal worm. Bait, normal worm. You acquired bait. Okay, so I probably have quite a bit of bait. So what I should do is I should save. Like drive out there, save, and then go into the whole thing, just like I did before. I'm just gonna grab the first car I come across. Yeah, it is only 10:22. I need to be there. Yeah, it says that breakfast is served between Unless they're meaning somewhere else. Try to see if there's another place that serves breakfast. Because if you look at this, it says between 9 and 1300 that breakfast is served. But see, I don't want to miss something like that. Coffee with milk. Okay. It's not telling me, you know, where anything is, so I'm just gonna save really quickly. That's not what I intended to happen. This is the room that we had breakfast in the other day. What's in here? Can of pickles. Miraculously, what's out here? Can I get in here? Looks like the door wasn't locked. Use the fishing rod to go fishing. Nope, metal. Please wake up room. Or cleanup room. This is just another way to get in here. Okay. Go back down this way. Maybe do some fishing, because I haven't done that in this game yet. I mean, I've tried, but didn't have the bait to do so. I probably have 12 bait, because I think it's, you buy a pack of 6. I wonder if that's that weird turkey sandwich they talk about later. I've seen a clip that talks about a very weird turkey sandwich that I would never in my right mind eat. Except that I might. The boathouse isn't in use right now. It reminds me of that case where we had to chase the culprit in a boat. That wasn't in the game? Use it with the fishing rod to go fishing. Yeah, there we go. Wait for the right time to get a big hit. But if your line breaks, you will lose 1 base. Be careful. What? You caught a garbage. What? We have 18 more worms to go through, so you caught a cigarette heavy. Aww. You got a bait, normal worm. I have things to do, but I'm doing this instead. Damn it, York. Come on, catch something. Anything. Failed. What? That's what that means? Okay. Is this music grating on anyone else's nerves? I should probably check the time, just to make sure I'm not going past the allotted time. Failed. It hasn't even been an hour yet. We have plenty of fishing to do. This isn't a feature that they advertise on the game, by the way. Tin can. I tried stopping it on the fish. You caught a garbage. Failed. I want to see if there's anything useful I can get from this. Like, what kind of fish can I get? Watch me catch something like a minnow or something. Mackerel. Failed. Oh, because I hit the button too early. Ammo? Let me add to my toolbox because I couldn't carry them. Hey, I'm all happy about 10mm ammo because I have the SMG for it. Come on. I want to catch a fish, I don't want to catch ammo. Damn it. Damn it. Too much. Sorry, I still have 13 tries. I have 12 tries. Damn. That's okay, I have 11 more tries. It's instances like this that make me miss arc fishing. For some reason I always wind up fishing in video games. I don't know why. It's like, this is a horror game about a detective, and I'm spending more time fishing than... There we go! Got one! Yeah, look at that. You got a smallmouth bass. Catch. Do I cook that? Do I cook it? Popular fish in Greenville replenishes a moderate amount of your hunger. No. Cool. So I can just stock up on those in case I need them. I'm not gonna do that though. Let's see. There's gonna be other ways of wasting time before I have to actually be there. This is breakable for some reason. Let's find out why. This too is breakable. See if I can't see any more of those weasel type things. I got Agent Honor for breaking shit. Sometimes the game doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Damaged personal property? Agent Honor. Huh. It's locked. Let's look else. Let's look somewhere else. I wonder if this is a better place to fish. This song will get stuck in your head forever. Oh yeah, this is a much better place to fish. Just found the best way to deal with security locks in GTA. Rocket launcher. Yeah, I mean, you know, that works. Oops, I accidentally hit the button, but I didn't register. It's good. It's good that I didn't register, at least once. To be fair, the rocket launchers are the best way to deal with a lot of stuff. Also, affect the song. It can burn. In order through shows, it can burn as well. You'll hear this song a lot, and it's usually over something derpy happening. Damn it. But yeah, this song, it usually plays over a lot of the cutscenes, and it's usually when something really weird or bizarre is happening. And it's usually being done by the main character. So, usually I don't mind hearing it, because it means something funny is about to happen. But when you're just sitting here fishing and all you have is the song... Yeah. And the Arabs were like, you should probably go here now. I'm gonna save the game after a little bit. I mean, I have 10 worms, so I'm hoping I can get some more bass, because that would mean more padding between me and starving to death. Oh god, it just goes on and on forever like this. I want it to burn. Alright. As soon as I finish this round of fishing, I'm gonna go off so it doesn't continue too long. Kitten said I should make it my ringtone. What'd I get? What'd I get? Coffee black. Okay. I can deal with that. I'm developing an eye twitch. Hey, that's a new idea for Apple. The eye twitch. It can go right along with their iPhone, and I don't care. I actually really don't like Apple products. I haven't figured that one out yet. Though I don't go over it very much. the running animation. Jujibus. I know I haven't gone over it, but this game, or I probably have gone over it. This game came out in 2013. Just think about that. And it has like the early to mid 90s graphics. Maybe mid 90s graphics. Alright, so I saved just before heading out. He's gonna talk to me. Just give him a moment. Any moment now, guy. You're gonna say something stupid about 80s movies, aren't you? No? That's a first. I'm surprised. Never
Okay,
mind.
Zach. I've been thinking about what movie I'd like to watch next. And finally, I've made a decision.
It's always hard to narrow it down just to one movie, but I've put a lot of thought into this, and I'm sure you'll agree with me. 1975. Directed by Steven Spielberg himself. The grandfather of panic movies. Set in a small town in Massachusetts. That movie made me stay away from the beach for years. I was always afraid that a hand might come floating up. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah? It's Jaws. The underwater camera work accompanied by that John Williams music. I'd never been that scared by a movie before. But the best thing about it is that it isn't just another panic movie. The mayor who won't close the beach even when there are so many victims. Chief Brody putting the citizens' lives above all else. The film gave a lot of time to the dispute and friction between them. It certainly had a lot of messages for a 2-hour film. That's probably another reason why it was such a record-breaking hit. One of my regrets in life is that I didn't see it at the movie theater. I guess I was still just a child back then. But still, I wanted to taste that terror in real time.
That reminds me, Zach. Did you know this one?
Jaws also appears in another movie that was produced by Spielberg, the second Back to the Future. It was directed by Robert Zemeckis, who later made Forrest Gump. That's also a masterpiece, of course, but we'll discuss that another time.
I never want to see Forrest
So
Gump
the scene where
again.
Jaws appears is right after Marty McFly goes 30 years into the future. He passes by a movie theater and is attacked by a holographic shark. Marty is shocked, of course, but looking closer, he sees the words, Jaws Part 19. The director is credited as Steven Spielberg Jr. In reality, there were actually only 4 Jaws movies, but it was still a great joke. 30 years from 1985 would be 2015. We'll be there pretty soon.
I wonder what life would be like by then, Zach.
I wonder if there's a place I can save. There is a place I can save. It's right here.
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out? We need to be at the community center by 1500 today.
Yeah, it's
Just
right there.
think of talking in front of all those people.
And it's
What do you think,
11:30.
Zach? It's going to get fun.
Zach doesn't know what your idea of fun is, but he's sure of this and that. Various kinds of foodstuffs. None of my favorites, though. Normal car turned to a patrol car. Not fast, but cheap to drive. Alright. Let's go in reverse. Get back to the front of this area, hop back out, get things started. Alright. So you wait for the time to go by. Oh, so if you weren't aware, the deer head on the wall in the background is moving, even though it's mounted. See that? Everyone's waiting. Let's go to the community center, Zach. Why? Why is that a thing? Oh, wait till you get to the dream portion of the game. Actually, what I should do is Usha, Fiona, 2 suspects I don't know over there. I'm gonna get in the car, I'm gonna save, and then I'm gonna go in. That way I don't have to waste any time. Sorry, I had to try at least. Oh yeah, the dream sequences in this game get even freakier than that. Just wait. Alright, skip to that because we already seen it. We've seen this part too. We've seen Miss Broken Heel come in. We've had our conversation with him. Let's see if we can't talk to these people.
Agent Morgan, here's your chance to get to know some of the townsfolk. Don't let it go to waste.
Can't observe him? I look somewhat nervous, though I sense an inner strength in him. He's serious, an excellent cook. Though whether that makes him an able deputy is another story. So, no different than usual.
Agent York, your words really made me think about Anna's death again. How could one do such a terrible thing? I'm still in shock.
Thomas, I forgot to ask. You don't have a tattoo on your back, do you?
Tattoo? I do, actually. But why?
Could you show it to me, please?
What? Now? Here?
Yes, please. This is vital for our investigation.
Now and here shouldn't be the part. It should be done somewhere private.
If it's gonna help you any.
Ha. Well, I'm wondering who G is now, but aside from that,
Did it tell you anything?
it told me that you didn't kill Anna.
Of course not. What are you saying?
You ought to see that tattoo, Zach. A big heart with an arrow through it and Love G in the center.
I don't know when he got that done, but we've all been through the 80s.
Okay, that's a good touch.
Quite a performance. Mysterious and very poetic. But I don't think many of your audience appreciated it.
Gonna let this play through again.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, the purple fog appears with rain, soiling and ruining our town. The evil does not drain.
Find out why the town is soiled. Remove the source from which it boiled. Then and only then your case is solved. But for this to happen, to solve the crime, the proper must do the proper at the proper time. It is not yet mine, that is, Mr. Stewart's time, not mine.
But if you, Mr. York, find the right timing to chat with me, that is, with Mr. Stewart, may that be. Informative and fruitful, you will see. So says Mr. Stewart.
So, Harry, you know something. But there's some reason why you can't tell me yet. Is that what you're trying to say?
Cut the poetic rubbish, Harry, and tell us what you know. We can force you to talk, you know.
Now King George is rhyming.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, pay close attention to the signs, the omens, and the premonitions. Small they may be, they still are finds, and helpful to your investigations. So says Mr. Stewart.
Thanks for the warning, Harry. But don't worry. Me and Zach, we know what we're doing.
Yay, got past that point. You can't pick this item up. Keep this item anymore. You should clean up your inventory. Okay. We can send to the toolbox though.
Agent York, are you finished asking questions yet? When you're done, let me know. We'll all get dinner.
No relation to the case, I'd figured. I gotta find people in this thing. Let's hear what this person has to say.
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
So Anna was killed. But why does that bring the FBI here?
Done. Darts bar.
I have an interest in murder cases involving young women.
Well, you know, man, this might just be another case to you. But it means the death of a friend to me. I don't want you taking this lightly like it's just another case.
I never take anything of this nature lightly, I assure you. I'm here to apprehend the perpetrator who did this.
Yeah, because local enforcement can't shine their own boots, right?
Good point. You can't always count on the police now, can you? But that doesn't mean you're going to capture the perpetrator yourself. Quint.
How do you know my name?
I memorized the name of every citizen before arriving in town. I also know about you and your significant other.
You mean Becky?
Don't underestimate the FBI. We know and see everything.
I'm sorry if I was a little harsh. I want to help, I do. Okay?
Okay, Zach, I'll tell you how I knew his name. He's got a small Q on his hat. That was the only name beginning with Q that I could think of. He was even kind enough to tell us his girlfriend's name. I can read him like a book, Zach.
Oh my god. Playing mind games with their suspects. Let's hear what this person has to say.
You're York, right? I'm Richard Dunn, the owner of the Darts Bar, Swery 65.
How'd you like the town?
Oh, it's great. Aside from the murder that happened here.
Yep. Murder just doesn't fit with a small town like ours.
Well, Richard, I'll have to correct you on that. Crimes don't care about size. Big town, small town, just isn't a factor.
I guess you're right.
So, how did you know Anna?
I've known her since she was a child. She was the same age as my son. You know, she always stood out, being pretty and all, just like her mother, Sally.
What do you know about Sally?
Well, I went all through school with her right here in town. I never thought our children would be the same age.
I don't see her here today.
Ah, well, see, she lost her husband, and this time it's her daughter. She's at home right now, trying to make peace with it all.
You seem to know a lot. How long have you been in love with her?
Hey, don't go there. That scar of yours tells me you got your hands full too, right? Let's not dive into personal matters. It'll be better for you and me.
You're right, Richard. Collecting gossip won't help with the matter at hand.
Alright, so... Oh, here's another suspect.
Good evening, Agent.
Good evening, Mr.
Brian, the gravekeeper. Brian.
Mr. Brian. I like the retro look. Auditioning for Little Grave on the Prairie?
Anna. Oh, she was so beautiful. Too soon. Too soon to go to the grave. So sad. So sad.
I totally agree. That's why I'm here, looking for the one who did it. Were you close to her?
Anna, her smile, so warm. Anna, blonde hair, so bright.
Sound effects could use
There's a graveyard somewhere in town, Zach. I'm not excited about the idea, but maybe we should at least check it out.
Yeah, that was one oddball I want to keep an eye on. Let's replenish my cigarette supply. A diva and her own boss at her age, quite impressive, character-wise. A stark contrast to her brother Thomas.
Anna was an airhead.
What do you mean? Are you saying she was killed because she was an airhead? Or are you saying that she was an airhead for being killed?
I'm sure she's still an airhead even in heaven. She changed her hair every day. If she lost a pound, she'd be ecstatic. Gain one, and she'd almost be in tears. She broke many, many plates every day at the diner, and she'd always have a smile on her face. Always having fun. Everyone looked at her and knew she was a cute, adorable, loving airhead. But they would be smiling right along with her. I wouldn't be surprised if the angels smiled with her too.
Isaac and Isaiah said that Anna was a fairy of the forest, a goddess.
She's jealous. And her heels are broken. And I keep pointing that out because we found a broken heel at the site of her murder. Or where they disposed of her body, at least. So, she was there when the body was gotten rid of. Who are you? Ex-military by the looks of it.
So you're the FBI agent, are you?
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
I'm the general. I fought for my country in the Vietnam War.
A real-life war hero. So why are you living here?
Soldier, this is my hometown. After a man returns from war, there's no place to go other than his hometown. Your little speech, you mentioned the raincoat killer.
Was that a problem?
You imbecile. The raincoat killer's no myth, not mere folklore, not a fairy tale. It's based on actual events that happened in this town.
It is. I'm interested. Can you tell me more about this?
You kids today don't even know how to ask for something right. Soldier, if you want to hear more, you come to my office.
He literally exudes raw power, Zach. Despite the credibility issues, we should give him a visit.
One thing, though. Calls himself a general, but isn't that a sergeant's uniform?
Yeah. It is. Good observation. Let's talk to the receptionist at the hospital.
Are you getting closer to catching the murderer?
Hello again, Fiona. Good to see you here.
Well, Dr. Johnson told me to be here. He said it would be important.
Well, that was good advice. He may be young, but he seems like a wise man.
Oh, and he's a very hard-working person, too. Everyone thinks he's some kind of weirdo, but I don't think so at all. People don't understand why he's in the autopsy room all day, but I do. He's doing research to make the world a better place in the future. You know, he already made a fortune in LA with his career.
I did not know that.
Right there, he can hear you.
You didn't? Oh, the doctor is a very rich man. He has a really big house over by the lake.
Amazing, Zach. He must be loaded. Rich and young. A perfect combination.
But you don't get that feeling from him at all, do you? He doesn't show it. That's one of the things I like best about him.
Well, I could have been fooled if it weren't for you. Thanks for the valuable information, Fiona.
Agent York, you make any progress?
Of course, plenty. Tell me, Usha, when is Anna's funeral?
That's still undecided. Sally isn't really in any condition to do it right now.
Her mother? I don't see her here.
Anna was her sole reason for living after her husband was deceased. Well, she's probably huddled up at home.
Should go visit that home.
And I should probably take some time to pay her a visit.
And yes, you should. And I'd appreciate it if you could, too. But don't go too hard on her, okay?
Oh, more people down here. Oh, hey, look, another suspect. Who the?
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
Those are bad
Please,
pants.
call me York.
I don't like them.
Wesley, owner of the gun store called Panda Bear. People around here call me the gunsmith.
Okay, so I'll be paying him a lot of visits because...
Was there something you want to ask me?
I might need guns.
How do you make a living running a gun store in a place like this?
Hunting.
I'd be worried because there can't be that many customers.
Worry gives a small thing a big shadow. I do gunsmith work in my shop, too. If you got the skills, the customers find you. All you need is a network.
I hope so.
Oh, so he sells ammo and flares and stuff. I already have one of these, but I can always use more. Guns are just tools for killing people. I don't like it any more than you do.
You've got quite a selection here. No wonder people come from all around.
Even today, a customer paid me to go to Seattle for some help. I just got back.
I see. Well, I'll be sure to visit your store sometime. I'd like for you to take a look at my gun.
Understood. Look forward to it. The shop will be open again tomorrow. It's usually open from 2000 to 0600. See you then.
It's open late nights. It's weird.
Yeah!
What?
Hey there, FBI. I'm Keith Ingram.
What?
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York. That's what everyone always calls me.
Okay, York. No problem, man.
So, Keith, I hear you run the Milk Barn convenience store.
That's right, man. Rock and roll!
Oh, God.
Do you sell raincoats there by any chance?
Yeah, but nobody ever buys them, though. Anyone who wears one of them, I say, just ain't a rocker. But you know, that scar of yours, now that scar rocks.
This scar rocks? Now that's a new one. I'll drop by your store soon, and let's talk then.
Yeah, cool, man. Rock on, FBI!
Oh, my God.
You're Isaac and Isaiah's mother?
Yes, I'm Lily.
There we go. Wait, what?
I'm FBI Special Agent...
Agent York, right?
You are good.
The handsome special agent from the big city. The facial scar trademark. The way you introduce yourself. Everyone's talking about you.
Well, I can't say much about the scar. But the way I introduce myself, Zach and I consider it a kind of ritual of sorts.
Everyone has their own rituals. It's like always leaving the house left foot first. It's one of those things.
You certainly are a funny one.
So, have you noticed anything strange or out of place recently?
Well, Becky's been taking a couple of days off from work, but aside from that, I heard she was in shock after the murder. But...
You think there's something else?
Well, I took the boys along to see her today. She's always so kind to them, and they love seeing her too. But she took in the boys and told me to wait outside. Something about a special secret between just the three of them. I just couldn't understand it.
Now that's interesting. Thank you, Lily.
Perhaps we should give Becky a visit tomorrow, Zach.
Yoink.
Mr. Morgan, you're quite an impressive public speaker.
Really? Thank you, Polly.
You reminded me a little of a play I saw when I was younger.
What kind of play?
I'm talking about back when this place was still called the Mercury Theater. When I was young, I used to come here often with my husband. God rest his soul. We'd come on the weekend to see the latest play. He'd always pretend to be uninterested, but I could tell he was excited inside. He was just one of those kind of guys, really, thinking about it now.
Really, Polly? So what's your favorite play?
Oh, well, I like so many. There was one in particular, but I can't recall the name anymore. Oh, it was a very famous one, too.
Something by Shakespeare?
Oh,
Little Shop of
no,
Horrors?
nothing. One more bell that doesn't ring anymore. I've always been forgetful about the plays we used to see anyway. Oh, and my husband would get angry at me for forgetting what we saw. He'd go on for hours retelling what the play was about. His eyes were so sparkling, like a happy young boy.
I see. So, what's your favorite play?
Oh,
I almost forgot, Mr. Morgan. We're going to have another guest soon. I have to get back and get things ready.
Sorry for having to hurry away. I'll see you back at the hotel.
Zach, I think she could embarrass the toughest of the FBI's interrogators. She successfully avoided answering my question, Zach. Amazing.
What the hell? Did she have to pee or something? I mean, look at that. That's like the I gotta pee dance. And she's only wearing one shoe. What's in the pot? Do I really want to know? Probably not. Let's talk to her.
Oh my pot is getting cold. Hey, mister, my pot is getting cold.
You are... who?
What are you saying? I'm Sigourney. Sigourney.
Sigourney. Okay. Now, what is the matter? Can you explain?
No time for chatting. I need to hurry. My pot is getting colder. Oh, you're useless.
Zach, we've met all sorts today, but really, she takes the cake. Amazing.
Sigourney. Okay. I don't know who these two are. Let's talk to him first. I said talk to him first.
Hey, good looking. Nice speech.
And you are?
Jack's wife.
Oh, I'm Gina. I'm married to Jack. He runs the gas station.
Could you...
Call me the Rose.
You look pretty revealing.
Oh, this old thing. Oh, you should see some of my other clothes. You? Oh, now you are cool. That scar really is a turn-on. You should come to my station. I'll give you a little extra service.
That would be great. I can't believe how expensive gasoline is nowadays. Some extra service would be great. Now, about my current case. Do you have any information on Anna? Have you seen anything suspicious?
Oh, I don't know. Talk to my hubby about the difficult stuff, okay?
This is getting us nowhere, Zach.
I ain't got nothing to tell the cops.
Oh.
What about the FBI?
Shut up.
At least give me your name.
I don't like her either,
I'm
to be honest.
Jack. They call me Raging Bull.
That's a manly nickname.
If you want info, it'll cost you. I only talk to Ben Franklin.
You know, first impressions are important. I can detain you for a few days, and maybe you'll become more fun to meet.
Zach, this is a waste of time. Let's go.
Jim. He was in the opening sequence.
Jim, thanks for your help in the forest. How are Isaac and Isaiah?
They're fine.
They really seem to love their grandpa.
Well, I guess they do, son. I want to keep them away from the filth of the material world as much as I can. Their mother agrees, which is why she lets me take care of them so often.
And that's why I want you to solve this case quickly and go home. Those rumors about that scar of yours do more damage than good around here.
I guess I reek of the material world, don't I? I have to, in order to do my job. But I understand what you mean.
I don't like him either.
I'd think the same if I was born in a place like this, Zach.
Alright. Gonna do a quick save. So we don't have to do all this all over again if it decides to crash for some unknown reason. Alright. Let's see if I can't go anywhere else. This should bring up a map of the area. There's 2 suspects I haven't talked to over there. I think that's everyone inside. Except for those 2. Stains on the knees.
I'm U.S. Special Agent Francis York Morgan. I presume you are the owner of the diner that Anna worked at?
That's
right.
Place where the body was discovered.
I'd like to ask you a few questions about Anna Graham. Did you notice anything strange about her prior to the incident? Nick, are you hiding something?
No, nothing.
You're sure?
I'm sorry, but I don't like repeating myself.
I get that.
I'm U.S. Special Agent Francis York Morgan. And you are?
Olivia, Nick's wife.
Anna worked at your husband's diner, right? What kind of girl was she?
Well, she was a very hard worker. A nice girl.
Did you ever see her acting strange?
Well, not really. But there was one thing. Well, you see, the diner closes when it rains. Many shops do that around here, as you might have heard. Anyway, Anna always seemed unfocused the day after it rained. And came in late, too. It was almost as if she used up all her energy the day before. Come to think of it, that was really strange. Did that legendary monster really kill her?
It wasn't a monster. Just a criminal. Criminal I'm going to catch and bring to justice.
Yep.
Agent Morgan, I'd like to let everyone go home now. Let's go outside.
Guy's still rattling on about rock and roll, snapping his fingers. Number of days, 2. Enemies defeated, 127. Yeah, got more money than usual. Usually I only get like 240. Yes, I want to save. Always save your progress. Oh my god, with how often this thing crashes, you always have to save your progress.
Well then, Agent York, do you have any plans for this evening?
I was going to head back to the hotel and go over my notes. I need to contact HQ and give a progress report too.
Okay, then let's call it a day here.
Sounds good.
Contact my office when you finish your report. We'll pick you up tomorrow morning. Diane, the owner of the art gallery, should be back soon.
All right then, let's do that.
Hold on, Agent York. We're going out to eat at Nick's Diner. Would you like to come with us?
The diner? That might be nice.
Thomas is a great cook, but Nick is the real deal. No visit to Greenvale is complete without eating at the A&G.
A very appealing proposition. Zach, what do you think? We can always go back to the hotel after eating dinner. Or go directly back to the hotel. You decide, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I picked... Yeah, okay, good. I picked the right one.
I've been sheriff here for a long time now, and this is the worst murder I've ever seen.
Our town is a little odd in some ways, but it's usually a peaceful place.
We had our fair share of cases, but just the regular stuff. A high school kid shoplifting from the milk barn, maybe? Or some hot-headed kids fighting, fueled on liquor? Nothing more than that.
Agent York, what kind of cases have you dealt with in the past?
Not much different from those you've just mentioned. The case I was on until last month, well, the guy killed 7 girls in a 3-month period. He sawed their heads off from the neck and took them back to his house. He cleaned the skulls up and used them as utensils in his daily life, to eat from or as a urine cup. He hated women. That was his way of dealing with it. He'd fill skulls with ice, cola, and rum, then he'd down it in one gulp. For him, that was a holy ritual. The question of his mental state was the pivotal point in the court case.
Oh, man.
For me, he was insane. 100%. Drinking from the skulls, well, that is one thing, but those he had used to relieve himself, he would then just use them to drink from, too. Yeah, that was too much for me. It's just not sanitary.
Not sanitary. That's probably not the problem for most of us.
What else? Ah, yes. An ingenious law school student raped over 800 victims. That was a nasty one.
Thank you, Agent York. Now, let's talk about something else.
You don't want to hear anymore? That's a shame, isn't it, Zach? I was just about to get to the good part, too.
Sounds like you live in a totally different world. I mean, you're like an elite agent who just jumped out from a movie or something. In your eyes, we must look like we're just playing cops and robbers. I give up. I can't compete with you.
Don't say that, Emily. The cases you have solved are all full-fledged crimes. A crime is a crime. Size doesn't matter. There is no big and small. Crimes always have a criminal and a victim. No victim will ever welcome a crime, no matter what its size. So, fundamentally, there is no difference in size.
Well said, Agent Morgan. We work day and night to preserve peace and order in this town. You understand that, right?
Of course, but still, I don't view shoplifting and Anna's murder as the same level of crime.
Me neither. I never even dreamt that such a thing could ever even happen in this town. I keep on expecting to see Anna, here in this diner, waiting on tables.
Like the girl in the background who looks suspiciously like Anna?
Excuse us, Agent Morgan. We should have made dinner a more uplifting experience. Let's call it a night.
Okay. Good night, then.
So, maybe I should have skipped dinner. Okay, back to investigation. Need... what? Okay, but whatever, get in the car. Awkward driving sequences. Oh god! I'm gonna set up as storyteller. Hope you can join me soon. Yeah, I'll join you as soon as I'm done streaming.
Zach, we can take a rest if you're tired.
I thought I already followed. Weird. Yeah, I thought you followed me last time I streamed, which is really weird. But thank you for the follow anyways, kitten. You know I always appreciate it, and I always appreciate your company. Okay, what the hell? I'm paying attention to the mini-map more than the actual road. Okay, where the hell? Give me a second here. Whoops. There we go. Alright, so I need to get to this road right here. So I need to take my next right, followed by a right. I wonder if that actually does anything, other than make noise. And annoy my my viewers. Do I take this right? Yeah, I take this right, and then I take my next right. Yeah, I remember you following me the first time I was really on this account. It's weird. I know Twitch sometimes like unsubscribes people.
Zach, we can take a rest if you're tired.
We will take a rest. Just, you know, relax. We gotta get back to the hotel. We're not just gonna, you know, sleep out in the street. I think that's the turn we want to take right there. Let's take a different car in the morning. They can take this one to refuel. Oh my god, do you remember those things? What's with all the, like, bees or whatever flying around?
Okay then, Zach. Let's go back over our progress. First, the victim, Anna's death. She was found hanging from a tree in the forest.
Oh geez, yeah, I know, right?
She was cut open with a knife from her chest down to her stomach. That was the direct cause of death. The strangulation marks and skull fracture were caused after death. Her tongue was also bit off, and I found something inside her mouth.
Do you remember what that was, Zach?
Did you have to interact with this?
That's right. We found the same red seed in her mouth. According to Emily, it was raining when Anna was killed, but traces of tears were still evident on her face. Which means the perpetrator killed Anna under a roof in the lumber mill, and then carried her body into the woods after it stopped raining. We found numerous important pieces of evidence at the site of the crime, a total of 4 things.
Knee prints in the grass, a wood chip with metal dust, a photo of a man with a tattoo on his back, and one other thing. Do you remember what that was, Zach?
Oh, jeez. It's gonna be like a memory thing.
That's right.
a broken stiletto heel. Aligning this with the other evidence suggests that 2 people came into contact with Anna's body prior to it being discovered by us. Those being the perpetrator who killed Anna and Miss Stiletto Heel. There is also the possibility that a third party carried Anna to the woods. That means we could be dealing with 3 people. 2 or 3 people. In any case, Miss Stiletto Heel may have vital information. We need to find her next. We didn't use forensic methods, but we're still closing in on the criminal. Have I forgotten anything?
Ah, of course. The marks on her hand tell us that Anna was gripping something when she died. Do you remember that, Zach?
What do you think she was holding on to? That's right. A round object. The marks on her hand suggest a peace mark. The man in the photo found in the woods had a tattoo of an upside-down peace mark on his back. These 2 could well be related. But we don't know for sure. Next, the townfolk. A few are worthy of special attention. Carol McLean, the singer and bar owner. She's Thomas's sister. Then there's Nick Cormack, the owner of the diner. Both of them seem to be hiding something. There's Diane, the owner of the art gallery, who's out of town. Then we have problematic, old, rich, and eccentric Harry. Both will be tough to crack. Well, we just have to go one by one. I've been thinking, one of the biggest rewards here is the fantastic food. Enjoying food is cultural, and yet it's also a bit uncivilized. It's interesting how good food motivates me to work harder during investigations.
Oh, and on Emily's back, it was strange to me. Hey, don't take that the wrong way, Zach. I wasn't getting all excited or anything. But it did make me feel strange. Nostalgic and sad almost.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's starting to rain. I think this case may take a while.
I wonder what happens if I let his beard grow out. Like, if it will actually grow out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And that's another crash. Good job, game. Good job. Alright. See if, let me close the program. And then we can, crashy smashy.
Ellie! Lunchtime, Ellie!
What?
I'll eat later.
You'll eat right now, young lady.
What?
You need to listen to your mother.
I want to hear the rest of the story.
Eat your lunch, then take a nap. Then up.
Okay, because the game was closed and it did that. That was weird. I've never seen anything like that. Oh, man. Alright, so a closed game still played sound. The game itself must be haunted. I'm relaunching it just so I can get back into the game. Hopefully with less interruption. All characters appearing in this work are fictitious and resemblance to real persons or groups purely a coincidence. I wonder how many times they've actually had to like put that into a video game or something. I know they put it into a video game, and it wasn't a coincidence. There was a direct reference to someone? By the way, we're still in, like...
Previously during the investigation.
These puppies are making me go to another town in the boondocks again.
I didn't think you'd keep me waiting in the rain for so long.
Welcome to Greenland. I'm the sheriff, George Woodman. Call me George.
There's definitely something in this town. Do you feel it, Zach? My coffee warned me about it.
Well then, Agent York, do you have any plan?
All right then, let's do that.
Hold on.
Or go directly back to the hotel. You decide, Zach.
We're just gonna like skip over it this time because we've already done it. There we go. And we should probably save as close to Alright, back on the road again. Alright, we're just gonna get out of the car and save the game, and then get back in and finish the drive. It's not like we have a long wait ahead of us or anything. Go. And we got a bonus for reporting back. Oops. What was that about? Just humming? Very, very sturdy street signs around here. Take a car going full speed and not bend at the very least. This car can barely push past 50. To 0 in 1 second. And I don't have whiplash or anything. Rourke's a tough bastard. Let's see if I can't save right here. don't think so, but maybe. It would be nice to have, yeah, it's not gonna let me.
Okay then, Zach. Do you remember what that was, Zach? That's right. We found the same red seed in her mouth. According to Emily, it was knee prints in the grass. That's right. A broken stiletto heel. Aligning this with the other evidence suggests that 2 people came into contact with Anna's body prior to it being discovered by us. Those being... What do you think she was holding on to? That's right. A round object. The marks on her hand suggest a peace mark. The man in the photo found in the woods had a tattoo of an upside-down peace mark on his back. These 2 could well be related. But we don't know for sure. Well, we just have to go one by one. I've been thinking.
I'm actually gonna relax this time and see if it's actually a crash or if it's just taking forever to load.
Ellie! Lunchtime, Ellie!
I'll eat later.
You'll eat right now, young lady. You need to listen to your mother.
I want to hear the rest of the story.
Eat your lunch, then take a nap. Then I'll tell you the rest.
But I want to hear it now.
There's no need to rush things. You must live your life at the pace that is right for you.
Honey! Are you coming?
There's a doghouse in that truck. Number of days 4. That's quite the jump. Episode 1 cleared. Oh, here's a freaky dream sequence.
Are you thirsty?
You must be very thirsty.
You only take milk with your coffee?
Coffee with milk. That's all.
What? What?
Who are you?
My name is Becky.
What are you doing here?
My name is Becky.
Anna's friend?
My name is Becky.
After your throat is quenched, you must do what you must do.
Take a sip of coffee and go.
What if I want to explore first? Well, okay then. I'm gonna send a chocolate chip cookie to the toolbox. And lollipop to the toolbox. Nothing else. It's locked. Looks like the door wasn't locked. It wasn't closed either. What? This one seems to be like radiating. Okay.
That's me. That's me when it happened.
It's been like 2, maybe 3 days since he shaved, and it's actually growing in, which is actually surprising.
Zach, this case looks like it's directly related to us. I do not know how yet, but I do know I need some coffee.
George said he'd have someone pick us up in the parking lot. Let's get some breakfast with Polly first.
And let's save our game too, because that's important. I actually want to see how long the beard grows out, so I'm not shaving on purpose in the game. I'm gonna make that distinction right now in the game.
Whoa there!
Did you need something?
No, I was just passing by. I didn't think anybody else was here other than Polly. The door opening like that it surprised me, that's all. I'm Kaysen, Forrest Kaysen. Nice to meet you. I travel a whole lot, you see, selling tree saplings. Just the usual salesman doing the usual road trip. Sometimes I feel, I don't know, like a jolly old bumblebee spreading pollen.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
I get it. You're the special agent Scarface that everyone's yakking about. Nice to meet you, Francis.
Special Agent Scarface? I'd need a bigger scar to live up to that name. Call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
What? You got it, York.
Is this your first visit here, then?
No, sir. Actually, I've been coming here once or twice a year for, a while now. I don't get much business here, but it sure does make a fine vacation. I mean, it's a gorgeous hotel at a bargain price. It's so relaxing in these parts, too. Oh, I just love all the nature. I feel so relaxed here. Say hi to Willie. Oh, don't worry, he's a good boy. Do you like dogs?
Hey, Willie. How you doing?
He's pretty smart, too. Oops, before I forget, let me give you this. It's just a sample of what I sell.
Thank you. How kind of you.
So, what brings the old FBI out here? Sounds like more than just a vacation.
A murder, actually. The perpetrator is still out there. Try to stay indoors at night and during the rain. We want to prevent it from happening again, okay?
Oh, it's a darn shame. Places like this used to be the safest in America.
Could I ask you something? Do you know a lot about seeds?
Seeds? Gardening, huh? You don't look like a green thumb, but let me tell you though, I'm pretty much the only one who can make those saplings sprout. There's a trick to it that can't really be passed on, you know? It's like, the secret of making a good smoked ham, something like that. But you know, once they sprout, you don't need to do much. You can leave it be and, why, it'll turn into a big tree no matter what happens. Kind of like those stocks that politicians buy that just keep growing and growing. Well, you just wait and see. This town is gonna love them. Right. We were just about to go take a morning stroll, so I'll get going. Good luck now with that case.
Thanks.
Zach, do you remember what the coffee said? Forrest Kaysen. F.K.
This show has just begun.
That is weird. That is very, very weird. What's with all these frogs? Someone Kaysen gave us, he said it's pretty tricky to grow properly, but the bigger the challenge, the better. Okay. Breakfast. Not the bees. Sorry, had to. Move, pup. So not in that room. Going this way. There we go.
Breakfast looks as good as yesterday's.
I hope you enjoy it.
I will, and thank you. I just met Kaysen, actually.
Oh, good old Mr. Kaysen. Did he give you a sapling?
As a matter of fact, he did. Don't tell me he gives one to everyone he meets.
No. Only to the people he feels comfortable with. He told me. He must feel really comfortable with me.
He must. Is there anyone he hasn't given a sapling to?
Mustard? Okay, I'll just get it from the kitchen then.
No, mustard has nothing to do with it. I was wondering if you know of anyone that Kaysen didn't give a sapling to.
Oh, too much pepper. I did think it might be. I'm sorry.
Ah, Zach, I forgot. We'll never get anything out of her, will we? Forrest Kaysen. He's hiding something. You think so too, right, Zach?
But no need to rush. All secrets are hidden until they are inevitably divulged. The powers of entropy. The world exposes everything and causes chaos. Just like this coffee.
Alright. Let's head out of here and see who's here to pick me up. Maybe the game will stop spawning bees.
Good morning, Agent Morgan. Did you sleep well?
God, they're even in the rain.
Morning, George. Dreamland was quite nice.
You do look well rested. Oh, I was up practically all night doing paperwork. Thomas helped me out, so I was able to go home and get some sleep, but not enough.
Diane got back into town late last night. We should give her a visit.
Which means going to the art gallery, correct?
She lives and works in the office there, so it's the only place to find her. The gallery is open from 10 to 1700.
Time for some art appreciation. A cultural activity in such a small countryside town. Amazing, Zach.
Who else would they have sent?
The gallery is called Muses Gallery. The Muses were the 9 daughters of the goddess of memory in Greek mythology.
Ah, it's just like Diane to name it that way.
Is she that intelligent a woman?
Oh, maybe. You'll see for yourself soon enough.
Did you see how Emily reacted, Zach? I sense that this Diane is not popular among other women. I can't wait to meet her.
The gallery is on the north side of town. Take the road along the lake and go north.
Right. The exit to this place.
An art gallery in such a small town. Am I prejudiced to think that it doesn't seem to fit?
Greenvale and every small town has every right to enjoy art.
That's right. Small towns tend to be full of highly cultured people. Although I can't say I've ever been to the gallery myself.
George, what about you? Are you into art?
Actually, yes. I like going to the gallery. It's very relaxing there.
Really, George? I never knew that about you for all this time.
Emily, please. I'm just as cultured as everyone else.
Some people just have sides to them that you'd never expect. By the way, about Diane, the owner of the gallery. Is she the type that isn't very appreciated by other women?
Well, what do you mean?
Exactly what it sounds like, Emily. Is she very attractive, especially to the opposite sex?
So you're asking if she's sexy, right?
Well, she does always wear high heels.
And definitely, it's, hard to explain.
But that doesn't make me biased, okay? She just seems to look down on people. She always has. I just don't like people like that.
That must be because sex appeal has no effect on you.
Now that's out of line.
I'm sorry, Emily. I didn't mean to poke fun at you. You just reacted so strongly to Diane's name.
I did not. It's like you're suggesting I'm the total opposite of her. Is that it?
Oh, Emily, that's not what anyone is suggesting. Let's just drop this conversation, okay?
York has a way with words. Gotta admit it. Did I miss my turn? Maybe. It's entirely possible. That map doesn't really help you all that much. Look at how little gas they give you too.
Looks more like an old mansion than an art gallery.
Diane liked the building so much she turned it into an art gallery.
She left the exterior untouched and had the insides redone.
So she's rich.
She bought this place, didn't she? Does that answer your question?
Indeed it does. Well, George, Emily, I want to talk with Diane alone. Will you wait here for me?
Don't tell me you still don't trust us.
No, that's not it. But this is very important to me. I always make sure that I meet with the important ones, one-on-one. Otherwise, it's difficult to sense the subtle reactions of the suspect. This is just how I do things, and I'd appreciate your understanding.
But go on then. You're not going to listen to us anyway, are you?
You're starting to understand me, George. Well then, Zach. Let's go and meet Lady Diane.
Hello? Hello?
No reply. Let's take a look around then, Zach.
It's at least 5 meters tall. Pretty big for an object dart. Pointy branches, razor sharp leaves. Good taste in the curator's part. Greens with a cool and sharp setup, right, Zach? It's locked.
Hello, Olivia. Do you like art?
Yes. Yes, I do. Well, I mean, I like trees.
Trees. Okay. Ah, but I see because these are all tree paintings. Do you come here often then?
Well, no. Just sometimes. I'm sorry, I really need to get back to the diner.
Zach, she was lying about something. She said trees, not paintings of trees. She doesn't need to come here to see trees. There's tons of trees outside.
Trees at twilight, a beautiful painting of 6 trees bathed in a sunset. Save at every given opportunity. Alright, let's try the upstairs. Painting of a forest delicately drawn, smooth, soothes the mind. Good stuff. When you say, Zach? That tree kind of reminds me of the one that was, now I can open doors. Huh. Let's take a peek over this way. I'm sensing another instance of, the people that turn into purple jam or whatnot. Go where they want me to. Oh my god, there's a downstairs as well. Alright. I'm going back up. Like I said, as soon as I'm done with my stream. So it shouldn't be too long. Oh, I don't even know the code to that.
Zach, something is still missing. We need more clues.
It's locked. Something to look at. Oh, there's mountain. Arranged the red trees in alphabetic order. Wait, what? Trees at sunset. Red leaves. Dancing red butterflies. Second, yeah. Oh no. A painting of a tree with its branches reaching out toward the light. It looks up unbalanced. I know what branches grow toward the sun, but why did the artist pick this particular tree? Interesting taste. Left, middle, right. I see it. Okay. Nothing? Nothing, nothing, nothing. Alright. Oh, this is gonna be fun. And by fun, I mean irritating. Alright. Two trees side by side, not a bad work, Var, but it is kind of creepy. What do you think? Make it, Zach? Trees at twilight. Where did that come up in the, Trees at sunset, red leaves, dancing red butterflies. Fame before is typically drawn as okay. Red leaves. Red leaves. Autumn leaves, beautiful painting depicting 4 trees in their reddish splendor. The painting used to be displayed here, and the title is Red Butterflies Frolicking. The painting itself is nowhere to be seen. Well, that's no good. Alright, so I have to go this way. Let's find this door. Ooh. I'm gonna check all of these just in case. Red butterflies frolicking. Large tree and red butterflies. It's almost if it's burning. Oh, what? There's a piece missing. Okay, so the painting was damaged, and it gives you the last number in the sequence. Well,
Zach, something is still missing. We need more clues.
alright, so let's try... No, there's only a certain number of possibilities. Six was in the first painting, 4 was in the second, and then I couldn't tell how many were in the third one because the painting was torn up.
Like I said, there's no point in you having this. I can put it to far better use. I'm taking it with me, okay?
That's fine by me then, as you wish. The FBI agent, right? Just wait a moment, please. I'll be right with you.
So there's no way you could have been at the scene of the crime.
That's right. I was drinking at the bar with Nick until early morning. I'm sure if you ask him about it, he'll say the same.
Very well. I'll be sure to do that. One other thing. That argument with Carol just now.
She's always like that. She thinks of me as an enemy, always bickering at what I say.
Is there any reason for that?
Perhaps because someone she liked ended up with me in my bed?
That would explain it, yes. If I may be so bold, who was the lucky man?
Oh, I sleep with anyone I wish. Anyone I prefer to sleep with. I guess she had her eye on one of them, but I don't know who it was exactly. I could sleep with you, if you like.
I'm flattered by your offer, but I don't think that would be appropriate. You're exactly the kind of woman a man in my job should never get involved with.
Isn't that a shame, darling?
The hell?
I'll be frank. Right now, you are not a suspect. But both Zach and I are certainly feeling shaky about you.
If you want to remain in the clear, just watch yourself from now on.
Oh, you don't know, do you? Artists and art lovers, we love a good thrill.
Thank you for your help. I have nothing further to ask you at the moment. Goodbye.
Who wrote the women in this? Because they feel off. Do you want to save? Of course. See, I thought I was gonna have to deal with the zombie people that turn into grape jelly when you kill them.
I had a chat with Diane. She said she was at the bar drinking with Nick at the time of the murder. We need to confirm her story. Let's talk to Nick at the diner.
Very well, Agent Morgan. I have to head back to the department and clear up some paperwork. Go with Emily to the A&G diner.
Okay, then.
I'll show you the way. The diner's open from 9 to 2100.
Has anyone ever had
Just as we suspected, Zach.
problem with this?
Diane is the key to this case. I have a feeling she will lead us right to the criminal.
That's Kaysen. Looks like the show has just begun, and it has an all-star cast.
I wish there was a button that you can push to have them drive you.
Emily, do you know a man named Forrest Kaysen?
Kaysen? Yes, I know him. The sapling salesman, right? He always uses strange comparisons when he talks.
I'd like to know more about him. What does he do when he comes to town?
He's a salesman, so I guess he sells things? Maybe he comes on vacation. We haven't seen many tourists recently, but he comes pretty often.
Is that all?
Well, now that you mention it, he seems quite friendly with the Ingrams, with Isaac and Isaiah. Maybe you should ask them about Kaysen.
Okay, I will.
Let me just make sure I'm going the right way. Follow this road. Up here. Nope. Alright, so if I follow this road. No? I guess I am going the right way then. It's gonna be a long drive. I just realized how much gas I have. Or how much gas I don't have, I should say. I don't think I have enough for this trip.
Emily, don't you find it a bit suffocating to be around George so much?
Well, we aren't always together. And anyway, I've gotten used to him.
Impressive. Women are very adaptable.
No, it's not like that, actually. I mean, George is hard-headed, sure, but he's also a hard-working man. That's why the townsfolk trust him so much.
The very epitome of the rural sheriff.
That's right, he isn't some hotshot FBI agent. This place isn't like the city. Everyone knows everyone else.
What about you and Anna? Were you two close?
No, not close, really. I don't seem to have much in common with teenagers nowadays. All they talk about are boys, clothes, and accessories. I don't have much interest in any of those things.
There is a gap between a teenager and being in your 20s.
Everyone's different, that's all. Me and you, too.
Zach, I'm not liking the way this conversation is heading. Let's concentrate on driving instead.
I'm actually wondering if I should stop by the gas station, considering I only have 10% of my tank left. That beeping is telling you that you're running out of gas. Galaxy Terror, Forest. Alright, so if I keep following the path I'm on, and take my first right after the bridge, and then just don't take any turns, I'll be there. Okay. I don't know if the car will last that long, but I'm definitely trying. %6 of a tank left. Ooh. Damn it. Oh. Okay. Self-correcting car when it flips over. Gotcha. That's an interesting feature. More cars should have it. % of a tank. Extra long distance.
Is there something you want to check out? Well, either way, it doesn't matter. I can see you won't be rushed. I'm gonna go ahead, okay?
Okay, that would be fine.
The diner is open from 9 to 2100. Don't keep me waiting too long, okay?
The diner's right there. We're almost there. Like, you can see the diner from where the car broke down.
Emily, were you waiting outside for me?
Should I have gone inside and started the 20 questions?
Well, that would have been fine with me. Shall we get something to eat then?
Someone should teach you how to be more considerate. And now you want something to eat? I thought we were going to question Nick.
Welcome, Mr. Agent.
Hi, Olivia. Let me have your special for today. And some fresh coffee.
Our special today is turkey. A turkey and gravy sandwich. Sound good?
Oh, perfect. Emily, you eat something too. It'll be on the FBI.
Okay then, I'll go all out. I'll have the T-bone steak. I usually can't order it because it's a little too expensive.
I would do the same thing, gotta be honest. Here's they talk about the
Mrs.
sandwich.
Olivia Cormack, I am here for Mr. Stewart's lunch. If it is ready, I'd thank you a bunch.
Yes, of course. Just a moment. Here you go. The usual. 1 turkey, strawberry jam, and cereal sandwich.
Sounds like the sinner's sandwich. Self-inflicted punishment to atone for past sins. He's setting an example.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, you should try this wonderful lunch. It's more than a delicious, tasty crunch. So says Mr. Stewart.
No, that's fine. I've just ordered my own lunch.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, I, that is, Mr. Stewart's order is delicious, I should mention. And Mr. Nick Cormack is a genius for creating this perfection. So says Mr. Stewart.
Still, I have a hunch I might not like it. You sure that sandwich is that good?
This is strange.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, making decisions based on intuitions is always a sign of bad FBI agents. So says Mr. Stewart.
Harry, you're right. I'll give it a try. I can't believe it. This is fantastic. It's really good. Olivia, I'm sorry, but can I change my order? I'll have what Harry is having.
Some of that 90s cheese.
Nick and Diane. They hardly make the perfect couple, do they? Is it widely known that they go drinking together, just the two of them?
To be honest, I don't pay attention to these things.
Not into local gossip?
Well, when I moved here, I was still in high school, and I kept wearing the same wild clothes from my school in Seattle. I was young back then. And before I knew it, there were rumors all over the school. She'll screw anyone. That's what they said. Totally unfounded, of course. Anyway, after that, I just sort of chose not to really trust gossip.
Light this music on fire.
I get where you're coming from. I used to dress like a hardcore punk rocker when I was in high school.
You? A punk rocker?
Nobody took my side, even when I had good grades. People rejected me just because of what I wore. I was young back then,
never
too.
made it.
Even still, I just don't see
There's a
you as a
special
punk
place
rocker.
in hell for them.
And you laugh? Look at you. With no makeup on, dressed in uniform, eating a steak for lunch. Okay, back to work. Let's talk to Nick.
Wow. $200 just for picking up a trading card. What's up? Could you tell us what you were doing last night with the night Anna was killed? I was at the bar with Diane. What did you two talk about, Nick? Rembrandt and Turner, is that a problem? No, no problem. If you think Diane did it, you're wrong. No, that's not it. Oh, so you're after. So it's me you're after, isn't it? You're wrong again. So much for the FBI, huh? That isn't the case either, Nick. I think there's something both of you are hiding. You can tell when people are hiding something by their reactions. Eye, tongue, hand movements, or tongue and hand movements, sweat, dry lips, neck angles, and such. I'm working here. If you aren't ordering anything, get out. The server looks quite friendly, and he's a good cook to boot. But he's not acting friendly at all. Just randomly take the trading card of coffee. I can't leave now. Why not? What is stopping me from leaving right now? Nick and Diane's stories match up. It isn't hard evidence, but it certainly supports their alibi. Her alibi. But the two of them could be in cahoots. I think we need to talk to Olivia again, Zach.
There's something I'd like to confirm with you, Olivia, if that's okay.
Yes, well, so long as it doesn't take too long.
First, what were you and Nick doing on the night of the murder?
I was here in the diner. Nick said he was going to the bar for a couple of drinks.
Does he go to the bar often? Leaving you to hold up the fort?
Yes. He says he enjoys the conversation with Diane. I thought they went drinking again together that night.
Do the three of you ever go drinking together?
Well, you see, I'm really not into art.
And your husband is well versed in the arts then, I take it?
Oh, yes. Looking at art and talking about it is his way of relaxing.
People just aren't what they seem. Like a certain someone who was into punk rock 10 years ago.
You are absolutely right, Emily. But you can be an art lover and a liar at the same time. One more thing, Olivia. You just said that you aren't interested in art.
That's right. And...
So, how come I bumped into you at the art gallery? Didn't seem like Nick brought you there. You were there alone.
Well, I like trees, is the thing. That's why I went there.
Surely you'd be better off in the forest rather than an art gallery then. I think you went to the gallery not to see trees, but to see Diane, right? You don't want to answer? Or perhaps this isn't the right place to ask.
Meet me in the backyard. You can get there from the parking lot. I'll wait for you there for an hour after we close up.
You acquired keys to the backyard.
They close at 2100. Should we get something to drink and wait?
Yep. That's what I would do.
Agent York, what do we do now?
I want to hear what Olivia has to say. Let's kill time until the diner closes.
Okay, then I'm gonna make a trip back to the department. I'll see you in the backyard later.
Okay, sounds good.
See you later then.
Zach, about Olivia. I presume she wants to tell us something about Nick and Diane. Let's hope it's not just something for the gossip columns.
And crash. Okay. Good thing I saved at the diner. I'm hoping this isn't going to be a constant issue, but I have my suspicion that it will be. Oh, there we go. Good old console ports, huh? It was actually a port from, I forgot what Asian country it was. Maybe Korea? They, it wasn't Japan. I don't think it was, at least. Okay, I'm gonna hop in Arc. Hope to run into you guys in-game. Alright. I will see you there soon-ish. I want to at least get to see what Diane has to say. Finish up this day. Hope to see main characters.
Previously during the investigation. F.K. in the coffee. I knew I could count on him. Never fails.
Ah, the perpetrator. Bit off Anna's tongue.
Jackpot, Zach. A shame, but our old-time all-American sightseeing tour just came to an end.
When purple fog covers our town, we'll all wander in hell, I fret. So says Mr. Stewart.
Oh, well, there's an old story, folklore. It's a fairy tale to me. Something about a killer in a raincoat who appears on rainy nights.
She had a red dress on. She was a goddess.
It's starting to rain. I think this case may take a while.
Alright. Let's see. Alright, yeah, we've been over this. And there was some... Yep.
They close.
Alright. So, let's see if I can at least hear what she has to say. And what I'm thinking we're going to hear is that Diane and Nick have had some type of... Oh, there it goes, it crashes. Well, I think I'll end the stream here then. And... let's see. Anyone